Good evening, slimy furtlers or whatever. Yeah, so here we are back on the railway again, and we have in front of us a Hornby Class 58 in rail freight, British rail freight colours. Very nice. Now, I wanted a 58, or the Bone as it's called. Hence why I've called video boner, and the problem here, there's a couple of reasons why I've called video boner. Primarily because, like I say, this is nicknamed the Bone because it has a rather strange shaped body. This is due to the design. It was actually quite a clever idea that they tried to do. What they wanted to do was basically make a modular engine. Where the cab modules could be unbolted and just taken away. Like the gearbox section, the engine section, battery section, and all that could just be, literally unbolted and lifted off the chassis. A new one dropped in, bolted into place, off it went. The idea was it was supposed to cut down on maintenance time because you would have a stock of modules ready to, just plop into place, and job's a good one. Yeah, good idea. But in real life, obviously, the good ideas don't always turn out to be such good fucking hot shit. The 58 was, it had quite a few problems. First and foremost, one was it being rather underpowered, which is ironic, really, because Hornby went ahead and produced a model of the Class 58, and they also made it underpowered. I wish I'd have known all this before I bought this fucker, and I'm not impressed. And I can't even blame the previous owners for it. Although when it came in, it was. I'm getting kind of used to buying second hand from eBay. Thankfully, this wasn't really expensive, thank fuck. But yeah, I'm getting kind of used to buying second hand from eBay and then being either, the description being slightly embellished or just being either a total lie. This one was just slightly embellished, though. They said it was running, and technically it is. But it really, really needed a good old clean and everything. So I got it out the box when it turned up. Slapped it on the track just to see how it ran straight out the box. Very sluggish. So took it out, and it doesn't come apart like every other kind of Hornby or Lima type thing I've ever got. Even the Dapol stuff, it doesn't come apart at all like them. It's weird how it comes apart. Basically, the body shell doesn't lift off. What you have to do is flip it upside down and wedge out the bogies, then disconnect a wire that runs basically along the entire length of the thing, and you have the motor bogie at one end and an unpowered bogie that acts as the negative connection. Motor bogie acts as a positive, and the negative. You pop those out, and that's it for disassembly. You can disassemble the whole body if you want. It's really, really not recommended, though, because there's a lot of weird shit going off with the body that makes it really, really likely that you're going to break something when you try and start. So yeah, I just left the body alone. Nothing wrong with the body's fine. But yeah, so after I'd given the basically shined all the wheels up to make sure all the black shit that was on them had come off, and needed a bit of a wipe down because it was swimming with oil, so I wiped off a lot of that, re-greased with some silicone grease, cleaned a load of crud off the cogs and everything like that, put it all back together, slapped it back on the track, and no improvement. It was still very slow and very sluggish. So I was like, oh, maybe I didn't do as good a job as what I thought I did. I've actually had this for about 4 or 5 days now, and I've had various goes at it. It has had the most massive deep clean of any of the trains that I own. Basically, I've restored all the metal parts back to absolute shiny. There's nothing on there. There's no things. There's no grime. There's no dirt. There's no soot. Nothing. All the metal parts are shinier, and they're not getting any shinier. I've cleaned every contact. I have cleaned and re-greased every cog, every moving part, and no matter what I do, it just does not get any better. So my next port of call was, maybe the motor is on its last legs. So I had a look, and I basically ran it, because you can run this without the body on. All you have to do is just connect the negative wire up to the unpowered bogie and slap some power through it, and off it goes. And that did show an improvement. Not much, but it did run better. And then I started trying to run it in the opposite direction, and it really does not like. It only really likes going in one direction. It does not like going backwards. Thinks I. I wonder what's going off there. So I checked. The motor isn't now. The motor isn't getting red hot. So it's not like it's struggling. However, when you put the body back on, and this one thing I noticed, the body seems to be really heavy for some reason. I cannot figure out why, because there's literally no, like extra weights in there or anything like that. It is literally just all plastic. There are little bits of metal here and there, like for example these handrails here. They are pieces of metal wire, separately fitted. I did suspect that here, where the model diesel tank is where a weight is. Nope, there is no weight in there. I found the actual servicing sheet. I also found that this is the Mark 1 version of this model. There are actually two. Some slight differences between the two, but nothing really major. They both use the same motor, they both use the same wiring arrangement. It's just the configuration of how the motor is fitted is changed. So motor didn't seem to be any problem. Didn't release any magic smoke. And then I thought, well, I don't know. Now, the other thing is, if I put any carriages or wagons or anything on it, it just refuses to play ball. I've been running it, or trying to run it, with this. This is a Hornby rail freight, appropriate for this particular engine, a Hornby rail freight wagon. It has absolutely no weight to it whatsoever. It rolls freely. I mean, all I've got to do, if you just look here, I'll do that. Look, well, apart from when it derails because I knock it too hard with my finger, but you get my meaning. It's very free. Look, it's very free rolling. Look, I'm just barely touching it. Just give a little bit of pressure on, and off it rolls. Yeah, pretty good. As soon as I connect it up, couple it up to this though, this thing just fucking goes insane. Whether it's got the body on or not, it just gives up. So after scratching my head and getting a bit pissed off, I did another strip down, and literally this time I stripped it down to literally every component, stripped off, laid out on the table, checked, rechecked, checked again for a third time, reassembled, ran without the body on, ran with the body on, ran with a carriage, without a carriage. Literally no improvement whatsoever. As it turns out, and I wish I'd known this beforehand, because I just wouldn't have bothered buying it. Oh yes, and the last strip down I did, I actually broke one of the wheels, as we can see here. I had to cannibalise a wheel from this section to put on the drive section, because when I was attempting to get the wheels off, just to properly deep clean it, I found that the previous owner had in fact done an upsie, and they glued, or attempted to glue, a metal axle pin to one of the wheels, and as I was, putting a little bit of pressure on to remove it, it just went pop, and it's now. Oh no, you can't see it. It's now in my drawer of bits. And it's completely useless. It's broken in half. I may be able to get the piece of axle pin that's stuck in one of the wheels out. Probably not, because it's been properly well glued in there. So yeah, I had to cannibalise the wheel. Now, where I've removed the wheel from so that the motor bogie actually works properly, it doesn't matter that it's missing a wheel there, because for the simple fact that, like I said, this is the negative terminal. There's no motor in there, so it basically exists to allow the electricity to flow through back into the tracks. I'm fine with that. So after I said some words that some of you may have never heard before, I kind of, I just put it back together, and I thought, well, this is a piece of shit. I wish I'd have, I wish I'd have done a bit more research beforehand. This was only 25 quid, so 25 quid, yeah. But so I did my research. I did my research after I bought it rather than before. That'll teach me, won't it? But yes, apparently this particular model has several known faults. Being underpowered is one, because the actual motors that they came fitted with from the factory are crap. I'm not going to open it up to show you the motor, but yeah, the motor is very tiny. It's not very powerful. So yeah, I can see why it kind of struggles to move it even without any fucking wagons or anything attached to it. Simply because it just doesn't have enough power. For some reason, Hornby designed this and then put a really heavy body on it, and then put a really crap motor in it. So yeah, that was a bit shit. The other thing as well is that apparently known faults with it is that the gears inside need a lot of lubrication. Fair enough, whatever. The other thing is, obviously, it doesn't, considering how heavy it doesn't put that weight down onto the fucking wheels. There are traction tyres on it to allow it to get a bit better grip, but they do fuck all. So yeah, is this a good model? Is it? Fuck. I have noticed that Hornby are releasing a new version, which apparently is due to arrive sometime next year. Hopefully this time round they'll put a fucking decent motor in it, and it'll work. But for the time being, I have absolutely no idea whether anybody else makes a decent Class 58. I've looked, believe me, I've looked, and all I can seem to find is Hornby in various different fucking liveries, none of which I want. I wanted this one for a reason. I think Effie Rail might. I'm not sure. I did see something that said Effie Rail, but yeah. So, anyways, I will show you. How this goes. So, I'm giving it 50% here, and as you can see, look, it zooms off. But then we get to this corner here, and it really doesn't like it, and it's really slow. And as we can see there, it's taking its time getting round that, just that corner there. There's nothing. Fucking hell, I mean, we've got my Dapol 73 here. I've got it at the moment set up with 12 wagons. That can zip round these fucking corners. I mean, look, this has got no wagons on it. It's having trouble. It's slowing down. It gets to this bit. Oh, and it speeds up a bit again. Like, a straight. Oh, not much. That's actually slower than what it was when it set off. And then look, now it's grinding to a halt. It's barely moving. So, anyways, that's at 50% power. I'm gonna jump. Look, I'm giving it 100%. I can hear those fucking wheels spinning. Yeah, those wheels are spinning like fuck. It is not gripping the track whatsoever, and that's with traction tyres and all the weight it's got. Yeah, and that's at 100%. It's a fucking snail's pace. And then especially when it gets into the corners, and the corners, this loop it's on is a second radius loop. People might say, oh well, you're running it on a second radius loop. The curve's too shallow. Yeah, I've also run it on my outside loop, which is a third radius, and it does exactly the same. It's not my track, because like I say, this fucking Dapol 73 can go round here like a fucking rocket, pulling 12 carriages, well, 12 wagons of various sizes. No trouble. It can go forwards, it can go backwards, it can go over points, not a fucking problem. This piece of shit, because it's got such a weak motor in, and I don't know what the problem with the fucking wheel slip is, because it's heavy, so it should be putting that weight down, but it just fucking doesn't. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to drop that back down to 0, and now I'm going to run it in the opposite direction. I'll show you just how bad it is in the opposite direction. Oh, it's made me a liar. Look, it's zoomed off in the opposite direction quite well. Yeah. Zoomed off in the opposite. There's no lights on it, by the way. This is... Oh, look, it's just sat here. It's just spinning its fucking wheels. It's... Yeah. Let me give it a... Go on. Oh, look, it's trying to spin its wheels again. Like I said, this is a heavy model. For a plastic model. I mean, it doesn't have a metal chassis. It's 99% plastic, but it's quite heavy. I don't know why. There are no weights in it. There's no metal chassis or anything. But it's turned me into a liar, because every time I've done this before, run it in both directions, it's just fucking refused. Now we'll try it in the other one. Look, and it's doing that, and say, oh well, it's probably run in now. No, it's been round this track about fucking 500 times already this week. And its performance is awful. Do you want to see what happens when I put a carriage on it? Hang on, let me bring it back. Come on, turn me into a fucking lie, you piece of shit. Oh look, there we go. Oh look, it's gone over a point and... Fuck you. Oh. Right, look, right. Let's stop that, stood there. Bring this rail freight carriage down. There we go. Look, rail freight carriage attached very securely. And off it goes. Oh, look at that. Look, as soon as I attach a carriage that weighs fuck all to the back of it, it gets even worse. Seriously, what the fuck? Look, you can hear the wheels spinning, and I really don't give a fuck if the motor that's in it burns out, because it's on its last legs anyway, and it's a piece of shit motor to start with. So, yeah, so it's limped round that corner. It's now sort of, limping along the fucking straight. It's come round that corner, alright. Is it going to hit? It's going to hit these points. There we go. Look. Slow down and stop. It really doesn't like these points. Fuck you. So yeah, I must say this is, it is not recommended. I have plans. Like I say, I've got another motor coming, which I'm going to use to replace the motor that's in it. The motor I've got coming is a much more modern one, and it is more powerful, allegedly. I will be able to replace that, no problem. In fact, hang on, let me just have a look and see what happens if I do this. Right, switch it to go the other way. Give it 50%. Is it going to stop on the points? No, it didn't stop on the points. Is it going to limp round the corner? Oh, yes, it's limping round that corner. It really does not like that. Ooh, that's not a very nice noise. We give it 100%. Come on. Yeah, look at how crap that is. That is quite possibly one of the worst performances. I mean, hell, even the Deltic, when I bought that, even though the motor in that was burnt out when I got it, as soon as I put, I still got a bit of life out of that. Yeah, I still got a bit of life out of that before the motor just finally went, before the motor accused me of necrophilia. But yeah, once I switched the motor in the Deltic, that was great. Look, I'm not poking it, I'll just give it just giving it a tap. And those wheels are spinning away like fuck. Right, I'm going to stop it there. One of the times when I did this, when it started doing that, grinding and everything, I just felt here where the motor is. Yep, that's quite hot. So yeah, don't bother getting one of these. If you find a Hornby, one of these old Hornby Class 58s, they started making them I think about 83, 84, stopped making them sometime around about 91, 92. They've all used basically the same mechanism, the same motor. They're crap. If you're going to get one, certainly don't pay more than 20 quid for it, like, because you're going to need, well, the 20 quid for the basic thing, you're going to need to buy a new motor. One plan I have actually got is I may get another motor bogie and stick it in the back, so it's got basically two powered bogies, and then kind of wire it up in a way so that, you know, positive and negative still work, still flow properly. So we've got double motors in, to double the power. If I use one of the newer motor, then that definitely will double the power. That's something I'm thinking about though, so we'll have to see what happens. Anyways, yeah, don't buy one of these, they're crap.